Where's he going? Where's he going? Hey, where are you going? Oh, that's where that's where he is. Ha ha. Hey, might need to clean up my pants. Just saying. Come on, man. Come on. What's going on, everybody? Happy Juneteenth. Does anybody get today off? Because I didn't. But, you know, what's going on? 6 months, Tokram. What's up, man? Appreciate that. Thank you so much, my friend. I will keep it up. I'm not going nowhere. I'm going nowhere. Thank you, Tokram, with the big 6-month celebration. Brother, that means a lot. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Awesome. 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 What a way to start. Whitey was first tonight. Congratulations, sir. Frank second, Amby third. Coffee's on. I like it, Frank. Sorry I'm so late, but it's been a week with this summer, man. Summer's killing me with these late lives, but family, man, they're just staying up so late. It's hard to get the kids down, everything situated so I can get away. But anyways, had a good night overall. Nvidia's pumping after hours. Interesting. What's going on with that? Look at all these good people in here. Stella, the one, Tokram, Joel, Mantan, Danielle, Bob Wren, Silver Minecart, CJ Yukon, Vince is in the house, Brian T, Darren, Colin, Stella Artois. Stella, do you make good stuff? Do you make beer? 12th to the like. Pat Shigoa, BB Vision, how are we all doing? Dude, can you believe that? That guy landed and he's just like, huh? Where'd he go? Let's just, you know, just in case you you thought you didn't see what you saw. Oh, you saw it. Where's the Curb Your Enthusiasm music? There it is. Everything's fine, guys. Nothing to see here. Nothing to see here. There he goes. Oh, he's that way. What was he looking at? What was he looking at? Oh my God. Anyways, but hey, the press secretary tells us that that's a deep fake. So you know what you're gonna do. Anyways, the garbage doesn't rest. Sorry, Rich. Sorry that you like that, BB. Oh, Fed worker got off. Well, that's all right, man. My man, show enough. Cheap fake, yeah. Don't you love the deep fakes? My favorite was CNN airing him wandering off with Obama and then deleting their video. They aired it. They shared it. They deleted the video, and then hours later they said it was a deep fake, even though they reported on it first. Unbelievable. You can't make this stuff up. You can't make it up. But anyways, tonight, guys, just having some ice water. I'm staying sober until vacay. Then I'm going to have some fun. But there was another paratrooper that way. Are you sure about that, Shane? Are you sure about that? Are you being funny? Just he's talking to his invisible friend. He's like, but my friend over here, he landed too. He's, you know, come on, man. I just like the pretty pictures, man. I was like the what's going on in the tree. It's pretty neat. Look at his face. I mean, he still doesn't know what's going on. Put my glasses on so I don't look as crazy as I look, okay? Okay, fine, you saw one. That's great, Whitey. But it doesn't... Are you still excusing him? because like it's pretty obvious where everybody else is looking. But let's make excuses for Biden. That's not what you're doing. That's it. That'd just be funny. What's up, Kimberly P in the house? Mask. Oh my God, too funny. Social security service getting robbed in LA with Biden. Are you serious? Is he Chinese? He's a oh God. Oh, we can't go there. I don't want YouTube to kick me off. But anyways, nothing to see here. Everything's fine. That's tonight because we're going to just look at all the great news that just proves maybe I've been wrong all along. Maybe the economy is just roaring along. So he showed up in the small bus. I mean, nothing to see here. Everything's fine. Look, it's not like everything's close to what it was right before the Great Depression, right? I mean, not at all. Now that there's, I can't play this whole video, but now that there's a 16-minute video just showing how many crazy parallels there are.
Sometimes referred to as the most dangerous
just between
words
right now and what happened in 1929. No big deal. It's just, it's not like Jim Cramer and MSNBC aren't out there and CNBC telling us that, it's just crazy how good everything is. What's wrong with people? Why can't you see it? You dumb retail punks. Can you not understand that even though, it's crazy paying record prices in on food every day, it's what's the big deal? You're fine. Everything's fine. So I just, I'm starting to think like maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I've been wrong this whole time. Howdy, Just Mike. Zach, so question, what happens during market crash? Finger, DJT, GTI do nothing but tank with the market, then what? Zach, if the market crashes and those don't run and they are completely broken and we don't win, then we figure something else out. Okay? That's what happens because nothing's guaranteed. I feel like these are as close to guaranteed as anything we've ever seen as far as short squeeze stocks. But if the story changes, we move on. That's all there is to it. I'll tell you this, though. Finger, for one, is going to be an awesome long-term buy and hold. It'll get back revenue eventually, unless the story changes, unless China cuts up the contract, which it could do because they're a communist country and they can do whatever they want. So, the stories change, man. Nothing's guaranteed, but we fight and we do what we can with the best we have available to us. What happened when everybody was cheering on and, thought if Trump didn't become president in 2020, it was all going to fall apart. Well, you come up with a new plan, or vice versa. When they all thought they were all going to die because Hillary wasn't president, you come up with a new plan. You always come up with a new plan and you fail sometimes. But if you don't stop, you eventually win. And that's what we'll do. But I don't think we're going to have to worry about that because I think we're in a very good place for those to run if the market goes down. In fact, hope we get a good rest of the week. Yeah, should keep a side eye. It's worse than the stock crash. They're Weimaring us. There's a lot of truth to that. The only difference, there is a big difference actually, and it's a pretty big difference, Andy. It's that the Weimar Republic came about from a country that had been trampled on for years and was completely bankrupted because they had to pay for World War I because all the allies came together and thought that losing the war wasn't enough, but they were going to heap on the entire debt of the war onto Germany, technically, officially bankrupting it for decades. And then the Weimar Republic came out from that. The difference with us is that, yes, there's a lot of similarities, but the difference is that we're still the strongest economy in the world, which Weimar Germany never was. That is a big difference. And so, do I anticipate GameStop will go up to 40 by September? I don't see why not. I think it could hit 40 by September on fundamentals alone. Absolutely. Yeah, the warrants go live immediately. Now, I saw something really crazy on DJT, guys, so I want to show you this. But one of the main reasons DJT was tanking, which I didn't know at the time, it's because they tricked a bunch of people, oops, there it comes, into buying this DJT coin. And so a lot of money jumped out of the stock and ran to this coin. And you know who's behind this coin? This fraud going on? Martin Shkreli. Shkreli. the old guy who, charged so much for his drug and was bragging about it, how he just did it because he could. Just this guy's a piece of trash, but he hates Trump, and so he's part of building this big thing against DJT right now. And so the warrants also exercise. They can dilute the stock a little bit, but I'm definitely not worried about it. So. So now it says, if those stocks don't work out, to stay away from the market, invest gold, silver, copper, real estate, don't look back. Exactly. And there's going to be a lot of opportunity to invest in real estate here soon, as you guys are going to see this soon. So dark pool data shows $3 billion short position against that. Really? $3 billion. How many shares is that? That's interesting. Yeah, Juneteenth. Yep. It's the proclamation of freedom. Nvidia to the moon. I think Nvidia is at the moon right now, actually. Haven't thought of the fall of the empire for quite some time. I remember when that was going on. Just left hanging later. Oh, that's dirty. That's dirty, KJB. So anyways, but there's a whole lot of chicanery going on against DJT. So we got to be careful here. I'm not worried, but just know that they're going to keep attacking it. They're going to keep attacking it, ruining it, doing everything they can until it breaks. And I have every confidence that it'll break at some point. I don't know what that means when it breaks out. Does it hit 75? Does it hit 150? Does it hit 300, 1,000? Those numbers are possible, but can it get there? Obviously, the warrants being issued we'll dilute it down a little bit, but you guys have seen my numbers on DJT. It's such a crazy monster. Even a little dilution of 14 million really won't hurt it too much. So I'm not worried, but this is just next level. Creating a coin and saying that Trump created it and finding out it's this guy who did it. I mean, and he is admitting it now. That's unreal. If the market crashes, where are the shorts going to find resources to continue to short? They won't, Apollyon, and that's the truth right there. Let me show you this. By the way, also Shkreli admits to insider trading, say he wants the token to go to zero, told a fan he hopes they lose all the money, put in DJT, launched it to help a friend. All on a space call the other night, and now, of course, it's deleted. So there you go, guys. This is the kind of stuff happening. All right, let me pull this up because, speaking of NVIDIA, if you guys bullish on NVIDIA, why are the insiders selling 700 million worth of the shares so far this year? Why are they doing that if they think it's going to go to 2,000, 2,500? I could understand a little bit here and there, taking a little bit off. But 700 million? That's a lot. That's a lot. Somebody's using NVIDIA as their piggy bank. And they seem to think now's the time to get out, which is interesting. I always watch what these insiders do. We'll see how far we go. Yeah, Bank of Japan bankruptcy. Yep. 63 billion, I think they're pulling out. Yeah. So you're not going to buy NVIDIA and retire, BM. It's not going. I don't think NVIDIA has got much more left. It might, at the very max, I think, could maybe hit 200 for a while, but you got to understand this stock. Go ahead, load it. I hope I'm wrong. For your sake, I do. But there's too much smoke around NVIDIA for me to feel good loading up at these prices, unless I'm just turning it around pretty quick. But this is not, for me, a buy and hold. I'm glad you have it right now. Now's a great time to have it. I'm just saying, watch it carefully, because I think when it turns, it's going to turn very interestingly and fast down. Yeah, shorts will die. There you go. Got one day JT for 100 grand. I love it. Yeah. What's up, Fro Girl? Thank you. Develop Freedom saw an interesting Reddit article on T35, how it correlates to GameStop. Oh, yeah, I saw that too. Listen, Develop Freedom, I really want to believe stuff like that, but I get tired of with what's going on in GameStop right now, whereas every bad thing, they find something new to put a new date on it or timing. I just don't think that's wisdom. And when you pull in stuff like this nonstop, I mean, it was supposed to run Tuesday because Wolverine had to buy back all those shares, right? It was supposed to There's a lot of like supposed tos, and none of them are happening. I'm very bullish on GameStop long term. Don't get me wrong, but I do worry that the latest short, latest squeeze might have been squeezed out. So Nvidia's overcrowded. It's overbought too. I know Nvidia just passed a bunch of stuff. It's crazy. Think about when Nvidia corrects, guys. And I know market cap 3 trillion, blah, blah, blah. I get it all. Don't get me wrong. I get all that. That's fine. You guys ride Nvidia. Enjoy it. I hope you make a ton of money. At this point, it's so, sold like, or it's so high that it still has to go to, somebody just says 140. So if it goes to 280, that's double your money. Great. It's going to take a lot to get to 280. I don't want 5% a year, so I'm not going to hold on to it long term. Do I think John the Apostle could still be alive? No, but I know why you're bringing that up. We'll have to talk about that another time. You wish you had big money. By the way, this is the most Nvidia bulls I've ever gotten in this chat, so I don't know what's going on, but it's kind of interesting. I put it up, like I changed my post a little bit, a little satirical, and all of a sudden I have a bunch of Nvidia bulls in here. What is going on? That's new in this chat. Tokram, wish you had money to diversify into Bitcoin. They could pretty much hit the floor. I think you might be right on that. Yeah. Yeah, no, I get you, develops. I say stay skeptical and position yourself just in case. Allende says Nvidia is round tripping the stocks, accounting trick. Enron did the same thing, and that's what I'm worried about with Nvidia. That we're going to get a reg pull on us here soon. What's up, Lyrical? What's up with Finger? Nothing new since yesterday. Uncle Andy, it's like when GameStop first took off, everything was a catalyst. The NFTs thing started. Yep. All right, I agree with everything you're saying. Yeah, so you're AI created by Nvidia? Yeah, I'm sure you are, BM. Does BM stand for bowel movement? Because that's kind of what you're doing in my chat right now. Just diarrheaing into my chat. Let me show you guys something I saw that was crazy from Suzanne Trembath, okay? So this is going back to the what happens if the stock market crashes, where they're going to get their money, okay? So short sale trading data shows the typical stock has around 40-50% of its daily trading volume short sold. You know how crazy that is, guys? Like, that's this year. Okay, Phil McIntosh on the NASDAQ. 40 to 50% of daily trading volume in most stocks is volume sold short. So most of that money right there comes from leverage from banks. Okay, that's where most of it comes from. They're going to the banks, they're getting money loaned to them for leverage, and they're using that money to short. And then when they cash in, okay, they make their money back, they keep their profits and pay back the bank. This is how it works. They also use it to pump stocks up. Same thing, okay? Leverage is huge. It's how they create volatility in the market. It's how they make stocks move up and down. Because right now, we have the most passive investors in the market in history. It's like nearly 80%. It's insane. So if you have that many passive investors, okay, you put a chokehold on the market from being able to move up and down. Well, that kills trading. That kills traders' profits because traders need it to go up and down. So they create their own volatility. They bring in leverage from the banks. Well, if the banks are losing money, if they are having to go risk-free because things are collapsing, the market's going nuts, the economy's bad, which it is going bad. If you guys saw my buy now, pay later thing from last night, you guys know that liquidity is drying up insane, okay? It's drying up so fast. And so if that happens, well, when a stock market crashes, it immediately dries up. It's just gone. And they start calling in margin calls. They're doing everything they can to scramble to save themselves. That's when shorts can no longer short. Okay. Especially if they're trapped. So in short squeeze stocks that are trapped, like DJT, Finger, GameStop, GTII, ZJYL, and 100 others that I'm just not thinking of off the top of my head. When that happens, they have to, the margin calls have to be paid at that point. And they can no longer have, even if they're not margin called, they will no longer have the leverage to keep pushing it down, which means it starts taking off. And that's why the market crash can be so good for all of those of us in these stocks. All right. So it's not that I'm rooting for a market crash. It's that I know one has to come. And so I'm taking advantage of it. I don't want people to lose their pensions. I don't want people to lose their retirements, their 401ks. I don't want any of that. But it's going to happen at some point. This has to end. 15 years, guys, since we've had a real crash. The COVID one doesn't count. That was a down and up. That didn't count. That was all manipulated. It just gone like that. But a real crash, since we haven't had a real one since 2008. That is just, when you have a bubble like this, it's inevitable. And we haven't had a recession since 2009. So it just, anyways, it's inevitable. It's just when it happens, and that's when we don't know. When everyone talks to stock, we're on the other way. I totally agree with that. Yes. Selling video when Pelosi does. There you go. Yeah, DJT's warrants, I believe, will be available as of tomorrow. What's up, Donna? Good to see you. What's up, Robert? That is called stock manipulation. So now what? That's exactly what it is. Here's her second part on this. In case you missed it, typical short sells 50% trading volume. Some days up to 90%. How crazy is that? Short selling ban would block almost every trade in the U.S. stock market. This is why they don't ban it here. You see it being banned in so many other places. This is why they won't ban it here. 2018, OTC Markets Group shows up to 90% of trading volume comes from short selling on some days. That's insanity. That's insanity. Toe cramp, knowing we know the economy is going to collapse, stock market plummet, actually makes sense to not naked short a ton of stocks, right? Well, unless that's how you make your money, and you think you're invincible, and you think you can get out in time, or you're stuck. And so you're just trying to keep it up and hoping that you find a way out before this all goes down. And there's a lot of signs that these guys know it's coming. I mean, look at what Jamie Dimon's saying. Look at all the guys selling a bunch of stock, including Zuckerberg, Warren Buffett, all these big boys. Okay. You see them going flight to safety. The hedge funds we saw the other day, I showed you guys. The hedge funds have decreased their leverage the most since 2022. They all know something's about to happen. So is there anything to make GameStop turn bullish? I'm bullish on it now. I'm just not bullish on a squeeze soon. I'm bullish on it, but I think it's a great, I mean, these are great prices for GameStop. Ed Jabowski, you think a good pivot would be talk about the future economy when AI will drive up unemployment? What would be good investments? Well, I don't know how fast that AI driving up unemployment thing will happen at Jabowski. I actually did just talk about this in my Patreon class about how you can take advantage of AI. So there's a couple of things AI is going to do. It's going to drive out a lot of white collar jobs. So a lot of college degrees are going to suddenly become worthless. I'll tell you right now, I think marketing jobs in 5 years will be 20% of what they are now. And there's a bunch of other industries that'll be the same. You're just not going to need a lot of people who do the boring, tedious work anymore with AI. That's going to take it over. So what's going to happen is in that industry is where a lot of it will dry up. Now, other jobs will be created. That always happens, especially in a good economy. I believe Trump will come back, so there'll be a lot more manufacturing coming back, especially if he goes the terrorist route. And so there's a lot of hope for that. The other thing, though, is that AI will make it, and already is making it, easier than ever to start your own business and run your own business online, which I think is going to be good for a lot of people. Why every time you buy a stock, it drops? Why is that, Andy? Explain how the warrants work. They're different for every stock. I don't know exactly how they work for DJT, but warrants are about being able to have access to more stock guaranteed at a certain price. So they're valuable when a stock goes above that price, and then you can still buy it lower. And it's a reward to reward to long-term investors. Who built underground bunkers? What happened, Whitey? Institutions allowing crypto ETFs is assigned to, yeah, 100%. Cohen used Kitty to pump GameStop so he could get retail back into sell dilute. Yeah, I think there's some truth to that. Or it's either that or he saw Kitty come back and jumped on it then. And that's possible too. What will happen if the market crashes? What will happen with shorting on GameStop and AMC? Well, AMC is a different animal because I think most of the shorts have already gotten out of AMC because of Ape and some of the other stuff. At least they have in a way that really could make it go huge numbers. But it still should have a run if there's a collapse or a crash. So I just went through this, but the short of it is that they need to borrow money to short stocks. And if they're trapped, they're in big trouble because they can't just sell those stocks and get or buy back and get profits. If they're stuck, which means they're underwater, it means if they buy in right now, they're losing money. And in stocks like GameStop, they're probably significantly underwater. Most of them. And so because of that, they don't want to get out right now. They're trying to figure out another way to save themselves. But when everything crashed, so they're borrowing a lot of money to keep shorting, paying it down because they're not making money off of it right now. So they borrow and borrow and borrow, and the banks are fine. As long as things are good, the banks don't care because this goes on all the time on Wall Street. But once the economy collapses and all that collateral dries up, all the liquidity dries up, the banks stop lending. And so they find themselves without the money to buy in. And so because they can't keep it going, well, what also happens is margin calls come along. So they either can't short it anymore, which will make the stock go up, or they also have to buy in because they're getting margin called. So it's not a good time to be a stuck short when an economy collapses. Let's just put it that way. I said, yeah, even more college degrees will be worthless. That's what I meant. Yeah. Did I say it wrong? You have to call the broker for DJT for the warrant? Hey, I can't bring me coffee for a while. That's true. That's true. GameStop share price falls sub 20. Buying will be. Yeah, I agree with that. Yep. Anthony Gaboa, Archegos trial might bring down some bad actors. Bill Swang is telling. Oh yeah, you know he is. He's got a lot of prison he's facing. So, but just look at this, guys. This is nuts. 90% trading volume comes from short selling on some days. Short selling ban and block almost every trade in the U.S. stock market. Regularly speaking, 50% a day is short selling. So our entire market is just a Ponzi scheme right now. Really, it really is. And there's a reason why they need stocks, like a handful of stocks like Nvidia to just prop up the market. You notice like most small caps are down on the year. How is our market hitting all-time highs when only like 25% of stocks are up on the year? It's insanity. And we haven't had this kind of congestion at the top since 2008. And there you go. I mean, that's enough for me. Every time the market gets overweighted like this, where you got big stocks at the top carrying the market up and a bunch of the little ones are struggling, always ends in a crash, whether it's 29, 87, 2000, 2008, you got it. So we're coming. Best of the rest, 222. I completely disagree with you. Shorting is the problem. It's a problem because a stock market is meant to be about investing. It's about to be, which is a positive thing. You invest in a company, you do well as it grows. And so I get like traders love shorting because they're making money betting against stocks. There's no truth to the fact that people say shorting is necessary because it creates the real value of the stock if it's overvalued. That's total nonsense and BS. Over time, that will always correct itself anyways. Shorting is it's betting against a company. It's unethical. It should be illegal, and it has no place in our stock markets. Take it to the betting markets. That's fine. I don't care, but it should not. It should have no place on Wall Street. And so I'm against all short selling of all at all. Like, I think it's disgusting. I think it's unethical. And I hate the idea that we're okay with people going against, like betting against a company. Somebody's hard work went into a company, built it up, and you're allowed to bet against that company in the investment sphere where they're supposed to be raising money. That's disgusting. It's unethical. It should be illegal. So I couldn't disagree with you more. All short selling should be banned, in my humble opinion. Never will be, but it should be. And as if you look to South Korea, where they banned all short selling back in November, all short selling to clear out the naked short selling. They banned all short selling. Everybody said, oh, you need it like for the market. It's going to tank. Their market is at all-time highs. Their market's doing just fine. And they keep extending it because it's working so well. And now they're really going in and doing everything they can to make sure there's no illegal selling in there at all. So, sorry, I disagree with you. If you think it's fun to, think you should be able to go after somebody's hard work that they put in, their sweat equity, they finally took a company public, and you can be able to bet against it to drive it down so you can make money in your own pockets, fine. That's your deal, man. That's between you and God. But listen, I think it's completely unethical, and I think it's anti-American. And I think short selling existing is just one of the most insane, terrible things that should ever be in a stock market. So, and South Korea proves that we don't need it. So, what's up, Powers? Welcome. Whitey, market going to manipulate bad news on AI, Nvidia crash. Yeah. It's not that they even need bad news on AI. They just need it to the realistic news to come out. Right now, AI is in the speculation zone. Okay. Speculation zone is where all the money is fun money. It comes in, we're excited about something, it blows up. This is what happened in 2000 with the dot-com bubble. The internet was new as far as and people were just figuring out what they could do with business. So money came pouring in, blew it up, and it's not that it's not that the internet was at its peak. It's not that internet business was at its peak. It was still in the new age. And so it all just but the speculation phase caused the bubble. And AI is in its speculation phase right now. People are believing it's going to do things it probably will never do. They're just excited about it. It hasn't consolidated yet. It's still very in its infant stage. And so all the speculation is just making that money soar. Eventually what's going to happen is the limitations of AI are going to be realized. The real impact is going to be realized. People are actually going to start using it. And the fun's going to be gone. The shine's going to be gone. And it's just going to become part of our regular lives again. And so now internet business is at all-time highs. It's better than ever. It's more accessible than ever, easier to use than ever. Everything's better about internet and internet business. But, except for you could argue the freedom aspect of it all, but everything that you need for generating revenue is better. And so you put that all in, and you look at AI will do the same thing, in my opinion. So once that speculation zone is over, it comes crashing down. And that's what will eventually happen. Mark, I already called out Juneteenth, man, when you said it the first time. Thank you, Mark. Appreciate it. Uncle Eddie, is it possible for U.S. market to mirror the Japan market crashed over 30 years ago and never recovered? I doubt that. We're too dynamic of an economy. I do think, though, that if it crashes the way it probably should, in order to really correct things the way they need to be corrected, I think it'll be a long time before we get back to these heights we're at now. But I don't think it'll just take forever to come back in general. The old ways were investment of a company. It's a casino now. Exactly my point. The stock market is a casino now, which was why it should be more of the betting markets doing this, not the stock market. But not that that'll change. I don't believe it'll change. Although Patrick Byrne, who might be the next SEC chair under Trump, is very anti-short selling and naked short selling. So he might make some big changes. My biblical view of stocks. I mean, you can call it biblical. I believe in ethics, and I believe in treating people the way you want to be treated. And I just think it's I think it's evil to be able to click buttons and hurt somebody's business that you know nothing about. You know, just because you see an opportunity to make money for yourself, you can hurt somebody's business by clicking some buttons. I think I just think it's evil, honestly. I really do. What stock would Jesus buy? Charlie, you think short selling's okay if they had to show their position real time? I mean, again, you're trying to convince me to make an ethical case for driving down somebody's company, and I just don't believe that. I guess the one exception I could see being okay is if it was only limited to super high value stocks once they get to a certain point and they kind of become monopolistic. Like if you could short Nvidia, Facebook, and say 100 other companies at that, like at those high levels, maybe then I'd be like, yeah, okay, those guys. But when you're allowed to short sell against small companies that are just building themselves out, just went public, I think that's just awful. I don't see anything that would ever make me think it's okay. Yeah, short selling is completely exploited for unethical practices. You know why? Because there's only one reason for short selling. It's not the reason they tell you. They say that because they lie. They have to have a reason to make it okay. They have to have a reason for people to think it's okay. But I'm telling you right now, nobody's ever short sold a company because they were like, well, that company needs to be brought down a peg because it's unfair that people are paying so high. I'm going to step in and do my duty and bring it down. Nobody ever does that. People look at a company and say, oh, I want to make money by shorting this company. That's the only reason people short. So I hate the reasoning on it. More finger or one more time with DJT. Donna, DJT is going to be at a crazy valuable price here soon because it's being driven down so low. So I'd wait a little bit to see how low it goes. And then finger, I don't know if it's going to go much lower. I think it's starting to turn around. So if I'm buying right now, I'm probably jumping into finger and waiting on DJT. Why do synthetic shorts need to rebuy back shares as counterfeit? They have to rebuy anything that's sold because even if it's counterfeit, it doesn't matter according to you and your portfolio. It's a share the second it's sold. So even if it's a counterfeit share when it's created, it becomes and has to be treated as real the second they sell it to you. So as soon as somebody buys that share, it has to be treated as a real share. In other words, even though they counterfeit the shares, they do become accountable for them, or they're supposed to be anyways. Tokram, love of money is the root of all. It's the root of all kinds of evil, not all evil. But that's only one translation says it's all evil, and it's not correct. But it is true. The love of money is the root of all sorts of evil. Yeah, agreed. Hypothetically, if USA goes to war like World War III, does that affect the stock market? Oh, yeah. It'll definitely hurt the stock market. Dare hear ACDC Hell's Bells coming out of the speakers of a Tesla sitting with a gun on the grill. Yeah, it's one. That's funny. Thank you, Fortunato. Best of the rest. Respect my short stance. I disagree. I think we can agree market makers total front for the we can agree there, best of the rest. And that's okay, best of the rest. Listen, I'm okay with disagreeing with people. That's not a problem. As long as you're respectful, which you are. So I appreciate you. You're good. And we're good. Our likes in less than 1/3. What's up with the likes, guys? Come on, like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Whitey, an EV company I invested in called Fisker was shorted to death and filed bankruptcy yesterday. Lost 20K. Oh, man. So they won that one. That sucks. That sucks. Yeah, talk about Mullen. Oh, my God. Mullen's terrible. Okay, I had some other stuff I wanted to show you guys on the economic forefront. All right, so here's what's coming. And this is why I just know. I showed you guys that buy now, pay later stuff. That was scary enough. But the housing market's starting to show its signs of turning around. So Austin currently has 10,000 active listings. Can you believe that? Not seen that since 2010, 2011. The last time Austin had this many houses for sale was 13 years ago. That's not good, guys. Austin, remember, had one of the biggest bubbles in the stock market. I mean, sorry, in real estate market after COVID. Everything shot up. I lived there. I'll tell you, everything shot up double or more. Now prices are down almost 30%. The most listings are there. It's insane. It's getting insane. One of the reasons is a bunch of Airbnbs are hitting the market. Another sign. Most new single family houses for sale since 2008. Look at the spike right here. It's just crazy. I mean, you see like it was relatively stable through the 80s and 90s. And then boom, 2008, and we're almost at that level again. And this is significantly higher than anything since, God, I mean, this goes back to the 70s. So who knows how long it's been since we've had this high other than 08. That's terrible. It's a it's a really bad sign. All right, here's this. Lowest financial market stress in decades per Bank of America. Decades, guys. Now, that sounds like a good thing, right? Oh yeah, no stress. That's great. Awesome. And you see the stress times were the peaks. Okay, like 08, shoot, 2000 wasn't even that bad. 2020, boop. All right, early 90s. But look at the low stress periods. Oh, hey, we hit a low. Crash. Oh, hey, we hit a low. Crash. Oh, hey, we're at a new low. What's next? Just telling you, this is crazy how this stuff happens. Whitezilla, what is up? You finally caught a live. Congratulations. Welcome, sir. Or girl, I don't know. What are you? He or her, that's all that's allowed in this chat. I'm sorry. So no pronouns. All shares could go to company at the end of the day to prevent fixtures. I agree with that, Alan. Right for finger to give him the finger. There you go. Croissant is in the house. Rain Man, trying to figure out if you're going to have a melt up or crash. There might be a melt up before the crash, Rain Man, and I'm open to that. I am open to that. It might happen. There are some good arguments for it. I don't see it happening. I think we're kind of in a melt up right now, but that will end probably by fall is my guess. But you're right. It's going to be one or the other, but I will tell you this, even if the melt up does happen, there'll be a crash right after. Just has to happen. So send money from your bank to Fidelity to try to get some finger. It says it'll take up to 3 business days. Or, I mean, that's normal, Calvin, that they say that for the money to settle. See if you can buy tomorrow. So when I do that with Fidelity, it usually credits my account anyways and allows me to buy. Oh, you know what? It won't let you buy finger because it's under $3 right now. That's why. If it's under $3 or if it's on OTC, they won't allow you to buy it till the money settles. Everything's fine. That's right, JJ. There's a couple places you can trade midnight, Josie's. What's a melt up adventures? Is that a real question? If it is, I have no problem answering it. What a melt up is that the stock market, all of a sudden, a bunch of liquidity just piles in and sends it soaring. It's like, it's when you make a fast move up and it's a high move. Okay. So melt up is basically like, so the Dow's right under 40,000 right now. A melt up means that over the course of 2 months, it goes up to 45,000. Like that's a melt up. So it's a significant move quickly. About GameStop at 27, you're nervous AF. Listen, you might be, it's okay to be nervous short term, but I would not be nervous long term. I really think GameStop's going to turn around and do something good. So that's okay, Adventures. I just wasn't sure. I get some people just being funny sometimes in my chat. What's up, A1A? You're welcome. Oh, that's okay, Tokramp. Yeah, so there are a lot of people who think a melt-up's coming. Not people I would say with the greatest track record, but they are smart people. Like David Hunter's one of them. He thinks the Dow will go up to almost, I think, 48, and S&P will hit 6K. But look at it this way. NASDAQ's about to cross 18K, and S&P is about to cross 5,500. I think we're already in the melt-up. All right, so I think because we're in the melt-up already, that's why I think we're getting even closer to a turnaround. So Thank you, Mark. Like, subscribe, share. I appreciate it, man. If you own another stock with equal dollars worth, buy more, sell some, and then buy your finger. They still might not let you do that. So now what? Because finger's under $3. You might have to wait for the money to settle. It was 2 before, Calvin. I didn't know that. What goes up must come down. 100%. Yeah. Yeah, I know. Nvidia's having another run. It's unsustainable what Nvidia's doing. But, enjoy it while it lasts. I hope you guys all make money while it lasts, those of you who are in it. You're right. Nothing keeps going up forever. And not only do things not keep going up forever, it's bad for the market when you have a nonstop growth cycle like we're in, because there's been no correction. Corrections are needed. It weeds out all the bad stuff going on. And since 2008, other than the blip, the quick COVID blip, but that was for different reasons. That wasn't a natural breaking down. Ever since then, it's just been nonstop pumping. Pump, pump, pump. It's all fake. And we've created a credit bubble, a housing bubble, liquidity bubble, and there's another bubble off the top of my head. I can't think of it right now. But we've got bubbles everywhere. So we went from just a bubble here, a bubble there that would cause crashes before. Now we're in an everything bubble, and it's going to go bad. It's going to go bad at some point. Rayman, hedge funds closing positions are causing the melt up, and then comes the rug pull across the board. Yeah, well, we just read last night. You're absolutely right. Hedge funds are getting their leverage down already, the lowest since 2022. So, except Walmart. Yeah, you're right. Walmart hasn't gone down in 10 years. Not messing with stocks now. P ratio is too high to risk it. Good point. The one thing I'm risking right now, stacking surfer, is putting my money in stocks that are actually forced down right now by manipulated shorts that should break once the market starts breaking. So, will GameStop go up by the 21st? That's Friday, man. I just don't know. That's only 2 days away. They're going to try to keep it down. They're going to try to get it under 20. Melt-ups often crash 90%. That's true. Yeah. I'm going to push past the correction, make a new level for the new generation. I agree with that, Marco. We have to just break. This market has to break. It has to. It's too fake. It's overbought. It's very unhealthy. It's the most, in my opinion, it's the most unhealthy stock market in our American history. It's the most manipulated. It's the most corrupt. And it's got the most just fake money in it. I mean, it's so over leveraged, it's unreal. So something has to break. I mean, people are so much in debt. The economy is breaking. There's a very good case to be made that the recession started in October. And I'm hearing a lot of smart people, including Daniel DiMartino Booth, who worked with the Fed, saying that the recession, by a lot of metrics, started in October. The only thing keeping it up is the government spending, which we all know that's not real, and that's unsustainable as well. And so once this turns and it starts breaking to the point they can't hide it anymore, it's really going to get ugly. Really going to get ugly. So, see, a major drop in the SPY could possibly be signal. Yeah, it's hard to know when the final signal will be. I think it's going to be something big, just like in 08, where a major bank fails, something like that. Going to have to go through a few years of pain in order to fix my... Whitezilla, I couldn't agree with you more. Welcome to the channel. I say that all the time here. Everybody in this chat will tell you. That is one of the things I've been very consistent upon for the last year. I've been saying that exact same thing. So you're going to fit right in here. Okay, let me pull up a couple other things. Check this out. In California, Arby's is completely gone from California. Well, Hollywood, sorry. Hollywood. I read that wrong. Hollywood's Arby's, though, 55 years. It's out. That's crazy, guys. I mean, this is one of the OG Arby's. It's out because of the $20 minimum wage. This is, I've seen that California's laid off or had almost 10,000 layoffs since this $20 minimum wage came in. 20% of unemployment in the nation right now, 20% in the entire nation comes from California right now. It's insanity. It's insanity. Here we go. Foreclosures. Foreclosures rising in Texas and Florida as property taxes and insurance costs increase. It's a warning sign homeowners are starting to feel distressed. Guys, do you know what a bad news this is? Texas and Florida were the hotbeds for all the new housing buys. They were the two biggest states. Third was Arizona. Fourth, I believe, is Tennessee, that grew since COVID. These are the best places to buy property in America until now. If Texas and Florida are starting to struggle, oh my God, how bad is it going to be almost everywhere else? It's going to be nuts. It's going to get nuts. So hang on to your butts. How do you buy calls? Yeah, you buy what you pay. You only lose the premium, Matthew. You only lose the premium. But if you want to exercise them, you have to pay for your shares. So that's the other part of that. Once Ukraine wins the war and pays us back, things will be fine. There you go. You think the sign will be overseas this time? Interesting. Hedge funds pick and choose their favorites. Meta, Google, Nvidia, no naked short. Yeah, well, you can't. And then the reason is those companies got so big and so powerful that it's pretty much impossible to drive them down in any meaningful way. So it becomes very scary to naked short them, and that's why they don't do it. Frank, operations manager for a trucking company for more than a decade. Shipping and trucking's in the dump. Wow. Thanks, Frank, for sharing. What's up, Jay? It's been a while. Wicked. If Democrats really care about the American economy, they crack down naked short selling. Oh, yeah, they won't. It's not going to happen. Also, just so you know, Republicans haven't done it yet either. But I think that's going to change here soon. Wonder how much you'd have to charge for fast food to maintain $20. You don't. God, you'd have to have a $20 Big Mac meal. It's crazy. Horseradish sauce and Arby's, you like that? I'm doing well, Jay. How are you? Your property taxes doubled in less than 5 years in Florida. Oh my God. No one's buying the houses. Wow. California people moving to different states to destroy them like they did California. You know what, Uncle Andy? I don't completely agree with that. And one of the reasons is I used to be a Californian, grew up there, and I can tell you that it's mostly conservatives moving away from California, not the liberals. So the conservatives from California actually usually get to the places, and it's like a breath of fresh air. And here's some of the proof, by the way. Florida and Texas have both become more red since the California exodus. And by the way, Arizona is becoming more red again too, if you look at the latest polls. So California is losing most of its red people. That's what's happening. But, they lose a lot of liberals too. But those are more in like pocket areas. Mortgage-backed commercial properties are at risk. So it'd be crazy good opportunities. Interesting. All the people in the Big Short look at this market like, wow, we're doing this again. That is the truth. Absolutely. 48 fish taco restaurants. Rubio's closed in SoCal. Wow. 48 of them? Holy smokes. Stagging Surfer. Yeah. Listen, I'd love to be a guest on your channel. Listen here. I'll put my email in the chat. It's also on my channel, but it's easier if I just put it in here. Email me and let's connect. Economy will continue making new highs. Jay, what highs? The stock market's at new highs, but the economy is a horrible place. What are you talking about, Jay? What data is good in the economy? Come on, man. There's no good economic data unless you're watching CNBC and they're just saying like what they want to tell you. But I show you guys the data every single night. I don't understand how anybody can say the economy's good. Your property tax went up twice this year. See, Jay, how's that good? You got out in time with Cali? Yeah, I guess so. It's gotten so much worse. COVID made it so much worse. It's unbelievable. So still some Arby's open but for how long? Black Swan will be Japanese yen selling U.S. bonds, causing bond runs when no one wants U.S. bonds. Interesting, Alan. I've been watching for stuff with Japan for sure. It hasn't done what I thought it would do yet, but it's still out there. Here's another one, guys. Housing inventories in Florida are soaring. Things can happen so fast. Price drops coming soon. This tweet right here. Housing market downturn. Florida is getting crazy. Zip codes where inventories nearly tripled from its level last year. Like this one north of Tampa, 248% growth in listings year over year. Sign of a major sell-off. I mean, look at that. That's nuts, guys. That's nuts. The housing is getting so bad everywhere. It's getting bad. Like I told you guys, 2008 levels, just crazy. This is this is not going to end well. But it does mean in a year or two, it's going to be a really good time to buy a house again. Maybe 3 years tops. All right, this is the kind of thing I see, and I'm like, this is usually a sign of something bad about to happen. I know this is just a one-off tweet, so maybe it means nothing, but this just came across my feed, and I was like, well, that's interesting. He says, my stepmom, who typically favors cash and gold, just bought $100K worth of Nvidia. So when you're pulling the super conservative people out, because they just can't step it anymore because the FOMO, and they're putting $100K into Nvidia, that's usually a bad sign. That usually is a sign we're close to the peak. Just saying. FOMO is usually the time when the peak has been reached or is close to it. Maybe I'm wrong this time. Completely possible this is just a random one-off tweet, but I saw that and I just saw a red flag. But anyways, you guys do with it what you will. Oh, yeah. Danielle DiMartino with U.S. auto market at inflection point. So we also saw the housing market. Now that's auto market. Consumers expect prices will keep falling. Economists call this deflationary spiral. Consumers delay purchases with expectations of lower prices, which reduces demand, builds up supply, and leads to lower prices. In other words, the same thing with the housing market is starting to happen with the auto market. It's people are holding off buying, and it's going to cause deflation very soon. It's coming, guys. A scam tweet to suck in retail. Maybe it is. Maybe it is. In South Orange County, staying to fight. Good for you, Stacking Surfer. I would have stayed, but I have, well, there's a lot of reasons I left. And one of them, I didn't even want to because we left in 2014. I wasn't ready to leave yet, California. But I'm glad I did now. I can see what God was doing. It would have been really hard to raise my kids the way I wanted to raise them in California because we're homeschoolers. So, and we don't vaccinate. So because of that, I'm glad we're not in California. But I love and respect everybody still there to fight. Part of me wishes I still was too, because that place will always be my home, whether I agree with what's going on or not. LA resident Apollyon, customer service fast food places also suck. Oh man, sorry. Anyone buying Nvidia's in for trouble. We'll see. I mean, maybe not. So far it hasn't happened, but I do think it'll come. Build homes around you in North Texas. 600K in North Texas? Good Lord almighty. That's so much. Souljo, what's up, man? Thank you. I appreciate it. That $4.99 from Souljo. Kazenjik says, sorry I'm late. I don't know if you ever went over it. Finger calls, any idea what date? I have not talked to Ham about it, except for the 2000 calls were from Asia that we know of, at least those ones. And no mention on the date. I'm sorry. I don't have that information for you. As soon as I do, you guys will have it. So cheaper cars, more expensive Big Macs. Am I saying it's almost time to buy Nvidia? Maybe. Jay, tried to buy a 3-2 in Tampa, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Sarasota, really cheap. No, man. Jay, that's crazy. We all called Nvidia a rug pull long ago. We've been looking at it, and we've been wrong. I mean, I'll be completely honest. I've been way off on Nvidia so far this year. I thought the peak was when it hit it in March. And I looked really smart for a month. But then it turned back around. Now, the rest is history. But I still really believe it's coming. I still don't know when. And maybe it hits 200 first. Maybe it hits 250. But for Nvidia, which just makes AI chips, and it's totally taking advantage of the AI speculation right now, which AI is a thing. And a lot of AI companies are going to have a lot of value going forward for a long time. But a chip maker, there is no way in hell it's going to stay this high for forever. It's just not. And so it's just a matter of time till there's a correction in Nvidia. But we'll see when it is. New homes in Texas being built for the southern neighbors. Oh, well, don't say that. That's awesome, Stacking Surfer. I just know California makes it a lot harder for a lot of that stuff, and they've been trying to change more, so good for you, Apollyon. That's a hard choice, I mean, especially with how expensive it is right now. Nvidia is the stock market, Jay. You are not wrong. It really is, which is not a good thing. That is not a good thing for a stock market to be so reliant on one stock. Best of the rest, a 3-bed, 2-bath, 1,500 square foot home. No HOA BS in California, 1.2 million. Oh my God, that's so crazy. I did see the average home price in California now is $1 million. The average home price. That's insanity. And I think the average, wage in California is like 60,000, something like that. That's just, how does that make it work? Yeah, GPUs, chips, graphic processors. Yeah. I'll talk to it. I am interested to see what happens when they finally release that new chip they were going to sell at 30,000 a piece. That's nuts. All right. I got, let's see. I already pulled that up. Did I have anything else? Oh yeah. So here's this. Okay. This is not good either. Israel has now come out and said, ready for an all-out war in Lebanon. Invasion plans approved this week for offensive targeting. Hezbollah officials said all-out war. Hezbollah will be destroyed. Lebanon will be severely hit. Don't know if this is going to happen, guys, but this could get nuts. I mean, this is also Al Jazeera, which is, I don't know, it's probably better than our press here in America, but I don't always trust them. But still, I'll be looking for more confirmation on this. But this wouldn't surprise me if true. It wouldn't surprise me if true, especially with everything else going on, and especially with the fact that multiple companies are now countries are now thinking about reinstituting the draft, including Germany. We just passed in the House to make social service that you automatically are enrolled now into your selective service. Sorry, not social. Selective service is now automatically register, which is crazy. That's basically automatically registering for your draft, and women included. So I don't know. I mean, I used to think we'd never see a draft come back to America, but our enlistment in the military is very low right now. And if we do get involved in more wars, which I would not put it past Joe Biden to get us involved in war to try to mess up this election more, it could get really scary and crazy. So I'm just telling you this. I have a lot of hope between now and the election that it won't get as bad as a lot of people are predicting, but I also would not be surprised if it did. And let me just put it that way. So it did not pass the House. I saw it pass the House. Did I see the wrong info? Did they actually vote it down? House just passed an NDAA. Okay, so they haven't voted on it in the House yet. Oh, here it is right here. Yeah, they did pass it. House of Reps passed measure yesterday will automatically register men. Bill passed by vote 217-199. Bill now has the Senate. There it is. Oh, the Senate. Yeah, it has to pass the Senate soon, and then it'll go to... Did it not pass the Senate? Or did they vote yet? I haven't seen that they voted yet. No, they haven't voted yet. Yeah, they haven't voted yet in the Senate. It's my take on Coinbase and Bitcoin. Put options time on Nvidia. I'm not ready for puts on. The timing on Nvidia is the thing I just don't know. But I mean, if you did them long-term puts, maybe like next year or the end of this year, that I'd feel pretty comfortable about. Not financial advice, by the way. Bitcoin, I'm actually bullish on. I think Bitcoin, I would not be surprised if Bitcoin got to 100K by the end of the year. And if Trump gets elected, I think it soars because Trump's talking very good things on it. So he's been talking a lot of good stuff about Bitcoin for Bitcoin people. So I think it has a big run after if Trump gets elected, which he will. So Nvidia manufactures chips, a Twain chip manufacturer. So what they really do is R&D. Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, if China invades Taiwan, Nvidia's in trouble. Any legislator votes for the draft should have to have their kids draft for. Amen. Senate will pass it. I really believe it. Yeah. I think they put women in it. Yeah. See, both men and women. Amends the Military Selective Service Act to require the registration of women. Selective service. There you go. It won't because the Republicans try to take all the gay and trans stuff out of the military. I don't know, man, Floppy. The problem is the House is more conservative than the Senate. The House, if it passes the House, the Senate's the Democrats run the Senate. So I don't think you're right on this, man. I hope it is, but what's a man nowadays? Oh God. Don't get started there. Should Canada make room for an influx? No, because Canada sucks. As long as Trudeau's there, nobody's running to Canada. Just being honest. But, I mean, I don't know. We have him, so. No, listen, yeah, to protect your son, you would probably go. A lot of people would. Women equals rights and get rid of the drafts or make them eligible for it. Yeah, I mean, listen, I don't believe in women going. I just think it's terrible because it's also not good for the military. Women just should not be in combat, in my opinion. And that's because I believe men and women are different. So sue me. YouTube, you going to ban me for that one? Like, I'm just sorry. And it's been proven. A lot of times they've held the men back in combat. The men are protecting them. It's not that women don't have value. They can absolutely be in other aspects of the military. I'm totally fine with that. But combat has just not been good. And the data proves it. Republicans tried to take the gay stuff out, so they don't want to pass it. Oh, okay. Well, we'll see. It's still not good that it passed the House, though. Some point to let the NBA players in the WNBA. That all depends on what you think Brittany Griner is. So that's there's that. You guys want more? We don't need the sound. Stop guys from claiming they're women. Yeah, probably. Oh, I'm not going down that road, Uncle Andy. Selective service isn't bad. Should be used as a final defense. I would say so. I don't know. I think there would have to be some major limitations to it that I don't think are there now. So, cheap fake video. What about this one? This is a deep fake? Don't feel bad, Joe. I'd fall asleep to that, too. I actually sympathize with him on this one. Oh, my God. I don't know who Curtis is, Chris. Sorry. Don't feel like celebrating Canada Day this year because of Trudeau. Oh, that's terrible, Moody. I'm sorry. Yeah, being drafted to fight Vietnam. All right. Yeah, it's terrible. You're hearing rumors Hillary replaces Biden. I just, I've seen the rumors, okay? And some of them are from credible people. I don't believe it, and here's why. I think that Hillary is even a worse candidate for them to win than Biden. She's way less likable. They just can't stand her. People can't stand her. And she hasn't done anything to help herself since Trump got elected and beat her. And she would, I think she'd lose by even more, honestly. So, and also the Democrats have never, as far as I know, ran someone again after they lost. They just don't like the losers. Once you've lost an election, you don't get another chance. And so that would be another thing I'd be shocked if they did. Trump's so much more popular than he was in 2016. He has gained in popularity substantially. And if the Democrats think they have hope in a candidate, it's just not true. Their brand is toxic right now. Their brand is toxic. Joe Biden has ruined a lot more than just his own chances. It's the whole Democratic brand. Nobody wants it. Not sure about Bitcoin. Should have a large run up. Why hasn't it? The hedges are in Bitcoin. That's one of the reasons why it hasn't gone up, because they keep selling it to use their money from that to keep shoring up positions in the stock market. Biden is a deep fake. Yeah, he's dreaming of hair sniffing. He looks like it. Yeah, that looks like he's taking a good long sniff right there. But anyways, guys, well, hey, it's late. I got to take off. I got work tomorrow. Yeah, it's 12:30. My God. I will be back tomorrow night. We'll go through some more stuff. We'll see what comes up. Hopefully our stocks do well tomorrow. If not, I'm not worried about it. Quad witching's Friday, so that should get interesting. Please like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. I really appreciate it. This weekend, I have classes on my Patreon I'll be putting up. They are live, so if you guys want to join that as a free trial, check that out. You can also watch all the old stuff if you jump on. Now there's like 4 weeks of classes, so it's been built up, and we'll just keep building. And then Members Live, we'll definitely have that this weekend as well. So lots of content coming up. You guys will see me plenty. They're not going to do Newsom stacking Surfer. He's too unpopular even in California. They just don't have anybody, and that's why I think Biden stays in. I think, if anything, what they might do is swap out the vice president and hoping it gives them a boost. And then he tries to win because he has the best chance of any of the Democrats to win because, still, believe it or not, he's still the most likable of all of them. And then he wins and they take him down and the vice president takes over. That might be their new plan. So I'd be shocked if they replace him at this point. It's so late in the game. So late in the game. So, all right, let me end in a prayer and bless you guys and gonna head out. So, Father God, thank you for today. Bless everybody here. Pray that everybody just was able to get some clarity without the stock market today in their head, Lord, and maybe do something fun or at least pay attention to something a little less stressful. And just, God, we pray for wisdom going forward and that your will be done in our country and help all of us just make differences where we can so that all the little differences add up to big ones in a good way. In Jesus' name, amen. Bless you guys. Have a great